Good evening. How's it going? Hopefully my sound and everything is okay. No dressing gown. I think I'm alright. We'll see. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I'll be up to this evening. We'll see. It might be a bit less code heavy than other streams that I would do. I do need to get some other stuff nailed down, so. But there are a couple of small tech things I do want to get done while I'm here, so we might mix it up a bit. Actually, yeah. Because this could be all sorts of stuff. It could be more elaborate floor generation, moving between floors, additional guard enemy AI, that one could be, so investigation, and of course to do that you need sound sound sensing systems. Investigation plus pathfinding stuff would need to go in there. What else? I suppose you could go towards locks, keys, yeah, contraptions. Cool, interactive. It's a bit harder with this one to sort of break it up into a linear flow. The previous thing I did last year, it had a much better like stages of plan. So maybe sort of outputting everything I'd like to do and then reorganizing is probably the way to go. And a lot of that stuff is actually driven by the fact that I've been writing all the different things I'd like to be able to do, so The trick is figuring out the when. Oh. Yes, I mean, if you go from here and you've got that stuff, you've got some of the basic drone functions. So what does that look like? Interacting with contraptions, vision. Oh yeah, that's actually a major system. We can kind of get away without this to begin with, and then the important one here is field of view. That's actually pretty heavyweight. Well, I suppose we can sort of earmark it system. So yeah, we can kind of do it like that and then go system. Some senses. AI stuff isn't quite the same. So you've kind of got, yeah, I'm sort of breaking this down into sections, I suppose. Enemies. Systems, and then this stuff can all go sideways. More enemy types. And behavior. They're kind of interlinked because enemies are defined by their behavior for the most part. So when you introduce new behaviors, you can then have other kinds of enemies, basically. But there's like small differences. So, yeah. So then this stuff breaks up into gameplay, I guess. You might argue that having the drone entirely wouldn't be a stage 1 thing, it could kind of be stage 2 stuff. Like, the game would work without it, so maybe I should take that out to begin with. But it wouldn't hit the original vision for this game, so yeah, that's tricky. Maybe we'll take it out. I think we'll take it out. That's probably a reasonable thing to do. Dip, dip, dip. This stuff probably needs to move up then, like that. Some of this stuff might get worked out as like the end of stage 1 and start of stage 2 things. Don't know if I want to call these stages, they're like phases, I guess, or whatever. Doesn't really matter. We'll call them stages for now. That's not what I wanted. Yeah, then there's potential for cross-cutting concerns, so we might sort of rearrange this. And that's actually an important thing, is to... This gives me like a general overview, and then I will reprioritize this stuff once I start writing things. Because you might realize that something is taking longer or isn't as necessary. Oh. Yeah. I don't really need those things so much. Procedural objectives. I don't know if we need some kind of combat stats. And then there's also like different terrain. For different floors and areas to get a more varied experience. I feel like this stuff will probably come a little earlier. Because I feel like we'll need to provide lots of tools quite early to deal with different scenarios. At the very least, something like smoke grenades and weapons. It occurs to me that this bit of gameplay might actually need to be reprioritized up, because this is the sort of thing that makes it a longer game, I suppose. Well, maybe that's less important. Does it matter? Is it better to have a longer game or a more full-featured game, I suppose? I guess we'll go with the featured bit. This at least gets us to the original vision, and then from there it's expansion. So that is probably the right way around. Camera. And I might also drop some of these things to further back as we go and introduce additional stages as ideas come to me during. I just want to get an idea of the initial roadmap at least, so I know what I'm sort of aiming for when I start. It's interesting to have this kind of game jam where you can do this sort of planning up in advance. You don't get to make this, you don't really have time for most jams to do this sort of thing. So it's an interesting twist on the standard way of doing things. At least in my mind. Sorry, I'm sort of glazing out slightly. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's other things that I might want. It'd be good to get some UI stuff. Logging, objective, view. Hey there, Jay. So an interesting wrinkle for this. What happens if we leave the drone behind? I think that from a technical perspective, I'm going to need to make the map and generator system a little more elaborate to like store multiple layers of stuff, multiple floors of stuff, because you need to go back to where you were, so that's useful. Oh yeah. Death capture fail state, and then that is a cohesive thing. And then we start getting into the meteor systems. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that stuff. I think that's a good framework, at least. That'll get the ball rolling, and I'll probably expand it as we go, so I might check in during the week with that. I don't know how much streaming I'll be able to do during the actual jam. My schedule's a bit full, but maybe one day. Or maybe I'll try and record a little check-in mini stream or something. Last year I had like I had about 4 days that I could literally sit, code and stream all in one go, but not so much anymore. I'll also be writing up some dev logs probably, because that's the thing that I enjoy doing for this jam in particular. It's nice to have that day-by-day thing, not just how the game is going, but how I'm feeling during it. Interesting development artifact. Okay. I think I'm good with that for now. So, things that I would like to have working before the jam itself begins would be some kind. Well, actually, I wanted to pick out some colours for my palette, I suppose. Maybe low spec can give me some good ideas. That's quite a nice palette. I'm thinking of like having, that's the thing. Because I care about accessibility, it would be nice if the UI could work for different accessibility needs, and color blindness is tricky, so. Some sort of system for that might be nice. But this is pretty good as a starting point. Weird keyboard. So we grab that one. That one. And that one. Like that. Purple. It's good to know what the colours are for. And that sort of stuff can also change later if I want to. It's the same way that while I am predominantly using an ASCII character set, if I feel that a particular graphic needs to exist, I will create it and use it in the jam. I'm just avoiding doing that stuff before the jam, because I don't know if I need it yet. That's a nice palette for a Game Boy. I always liked the Pico palette for terminal stuff. It's got a pretty good one, pretty strong. But that's a solid starting point. I guess what I might do is just tweak the background real slight. Because what I'd like, sure. Like that. And then You get like a little bit of blue. So what if it was like 1 1 1 1 2 2? You get a very... Actually, I don't even know why I'm bothering to do it here. It's not actually a very good picker. Okay, because that's 2 blue, so that's not quite blue enough. Decent. And then if we did scene renderer, I'm going to move that renderer thing in a bit, but still. It's important to know what the different colours are actually for, so. And I might even associate them like that once the gem itself begins. Okay, that shows up pretty well. It's brighter than the walls, so maybe we'll use that. And then that orange is pretty pleasing. At least at this sort of smaller scale. If I have the brightness on my screen, yeah, that's all right. Five, that's a good red. Well, I guess it's sort of pinkish, maybe. And then this one will probably be not very visible, yeah. Would that be more visible with a darker background? Vaguely. That's not too bad. It's not ideal for this sort of display though. Yeah, if it's a dark display, then it doesn't show up too well. I guess I could pick just a brighter purple. Yeah, it's definitely too big. Maybe that works better. Yeah, that sticks out. There we go. Not a critical thing, but it's nice to just have it pre-decided. I suppose we might have a color map in the future. Yeah. To do color map based on use for easy switching. I also need an input system. So I've got this input groups thing. The version of this that I used for other stuff is not ideal just because of this sort of enum approach. But you'd basically define keys and what they map to, because I allow for multiple keys to trigger the same action or map to the same, yeah, general actions within the game. So move up, move down, that kind of thing. And it means that you can have WASD and cursor keys do the same thing, potentially. And similar. Which is kind of nice. Some of this stuff, though, doesn't need to be in here. because it pertains to the previous game. So we can take those out straight away. It would just be nice to build this in a slightly more flexible manner, that's all. Well, I'm not exactly sure what that means yet. It's one of those rough maintenance things that I know something here has to change eventually, but I'm not sure what. I think space makes a good weight key, so I'm going to put that in there. Tabbing through targets is good, still. Although maybe the right thing to do here is drop anything that's not immediately in use, so... Up, down, left and right are fine. Cancel is correct. Confirm is correct. Inventory is correct. Directions. I don't need the option keys. And... Okay, so yeah, we'll just put in a quick next, like that. Scene, and then this one is going to go here. Did I call it input or inputs? Ah, I remember now. I changed that shortcut on my keyboard fairly recently, so... Input actions, tilt up. Dot firing. And this is one of those things that I wonder about bringing into Dome properly because it's so damn useful. That's actually right. Left. Up. thought. That's a bit weird. Oh. Is that... Oh, that could be an actual bug. Yeah, that might be a real bug to fix. Okay, let's go raise an issue. Because that's an engine bug. Can't use a module. Actually, just double check and verify that first. Input. Yeah, that works. Okay, so yeah, that's an actual thing. Can't use modules with a file name the same as internal modules don't work. For example, input.ren isn't accessible, loads the input module instead. Hello there, Party Sofa. Welcome to the Dome Show. Just dropping a little GitHub issue for myself. How are you doing this evening? Or whatever time it is, wherever you are. Ah, you're about an hour ahead of me then. Nice. We might or might not have an inventory, so we'll sort of leave that one. I don't think that space should be a confirm key if we're using it for resting. Escape, backspace. Yeah, that's fine. And then I guess we might support VI keys as well, because I'm that kind of person. I don't think there's any immediate crossover. Yeah, this is my own engine. It's complicated. So this is my engine called Dome, which lets you make cross-platform games in a language called Ren, which is a nice, classy scripting language. And then I've got my own framework built on top of that for making various games. So it's kind of like there's like 2 layers of engine work going on. Because I have problems and I can't resist writing an engine. But it's open source and fully documented, so it's fairly easy to get started with. There's quite a lot of example code because I've done quite a lot of games and other people have done some games. We had a couple jams, so yeah. Let's bring down the key frequency a bit. That's a bit better. So what I'm doing is I am sort of setting up the so I've got Dome sitting on the base. That's the thing doing all the rendering stuff and the general platform bit, and then the framework I've built on top is called Parcel, and that lets me handles the game loop and entity stuff in a way that I know I like. That is also open source, but it's not documented or officially supported by anything at the moment. It's just me sort of making that right now. So yeah, I'm sort of tinkering with some of the Parcel setup before the jam begins because I've used the Parcel stuff for previous entries in this jam, so I know it works. I'm happy with that. I think that's good. Input and palettes. I was doing a little bit of planning for the actual jam itself earlier. I've got a little design document. So yeah, it's just hanging out, sort of tweaking and coding things. I'm always happy to answer questions as well, so it's the main reason that I stream. Sort of show off the language, show off the engine, tinker on things, make stuff. And drink a lot of tea. It is a bit strange to do it this way. I'm not much of a visual GUI engine person. So I can't really, I've not really been able to sit down and use something like Unity. It doesn't appeal to me so much. I like to know what's underneath. And doing this stuff is a nice break from my regular job, so. The other thing is that I tend to build like little mini editors for everything. So if I'm making games that require them, I do end up making like little visual editors on top of that, so it's all the same in the end. But yeah. I just wanted something because I used like the Pico 8 and stuff, so that's like my background for making games, and I just found it very difficult to make large things with, which is sort of by design, but whatever. So I made my own sort of setup that's like it, but with the expansion capable. Was not a good explanation for that, but still. I like the language, so. It is. I do like it. It's a nice contained environment. It's a good starting place for this sort of thing. It gives you everything that you need. I ran into different issues when I was using it that sort of frustrated me enough to want to have something of my own. It was difficult to work with other people on a project with it because you only have the one file to work from. So at the time, at least, importing the additional assets, like if someone was making music and you wanted to bring that into your game, that was a lot harder. I think that has improved. But also someone actually had to own a copy of the Pico 8 thing, and if they didn't want to buy it, then you couldn't do anything with that, and that sucked. And then Lua is a nice language, but it lacks objects and classes in a convenient way, and that caused me a lot of problems in the end, so that wasn't so fun. And then just the size limit for code. Occasionally you just sort of feel that pressure and want to make bigger things. So I designed this engine in a way that would sort of let me scale, so I can make a small thing very simply without much code and then start adding on the extra systems. Love 2D is pretty good. Dome fits in the same sort of spot as Love 2D, I think. That's the idea. It's sort of like for their respective languages, they do the same thing. Although I have a slightly more opinionated way of doing it, because, yeah, I think it's in the name. Oh no, I took it out. At one point this was, the O meant opinionated. A lot of people like Lua though, and I understand why. It bugged me to the point of wanting to find an alternative. It is, especially if you've got, if you have a more classic programmer background, it is very weird. I don't know how much of this I'm going to need. I think that actually all of this stuff goes in here. strangely. Lua has a strange, so they call it meta tables, right? The thing where you can kind of have your batched data and functionality all wrapped together. And you can kind of twist it to mimic other kinds of paradigms for programming. So you can get like an object-oriented style thing, but it always behaves a little bit strangely, so I never liked it. I wanted just something that had a well-defined object-oriented system, and Ren gives me that out of the box, so. I don't think we're using that. And this needs to return the world. Although now we're actually not using... I mean, that's not to say that Ren is perfect. It does do a couple of things a bit strangely that take some getting used to. But for the most part, it's very easy to work with. Just hoist those things. And that. Oh yeah, it wants the save hook, but I don't know if I want to keep the save hook, so maybe we'll just get rid of it. This thing. There we go. What? Yeah, that's fine. There. So that's a separate file now, that's good. Is there anything else that really needs to be pulled out to be separate? I suppose I wanted to have move the scenes renderer to the views renderer. Move the scene status bar to the views renderer. Oh, no. That was close. I'm so glad I made that make it ask me first. Whew. because then this stuff can be views. Nice, and now that's just a bit cleaner from a layout perspective. This is tricky stuff. As I was saying to Matt the other day, which was yesterday in fact, I'm not allowed to make the game yet because the jam hasn't started. So I'm tinkering around where the game will go, but I can't make the game yet. So it's just sort of yeah, I'm laying the foundation so that once the jam begins, I can just go and make stuff. Sorry, I am looking down here where the chat is rather than where the camera is. And that's very difficult to not do. But yeah, that's why this is a slightly strange programming stream. A lot of my streams are a bit more focused, but I'm sort of haphazardly doing stuff because I wanted to stream just because it's a good way to pass the time, show things off, whatever, and I enjoy it. But I can't make anything, so it's a bit odd. Hopefully you're enjoying it, I don't know. I'm good background noise, I guess. I think I am kind of close to the point though where... Oh, that's cool. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I suppose I could pull that out. That doesn't need to be in here. What are you drawing? If you don't mind me asking anyway. Oh, cool. What do you... I suppose my question, how are you drawing it? Is it a pen and paper thing, like a whatever, paint, some sort of digital drawing. Nice. Yeah. Ah, cool. That's a nice way of doing things. I've not used Pixel. Looks pretty good though. See the time. What else? There used to be some meta stuff around that might help with this, I don't know. So can I this will be an interesting side project thing. So if I did import. Hey Jay Rude. I'm just going to call you Jay. You really should. I highly recommend it. There's this fantastic engine you might have heard of that does it. Of course, I mean Lux, right? You should definitely use Lux. I'm glad we were on opposite sides of that joke. Yeah, for sure. I would like to try Lux and give it a go to support the project because Ruby is awesome. Ruby the person is awesome. I've not tried the language. Ruby is awesome. And also as a good way of learning a bit about other kinds of engines, which I can then use as knowledge to bring back to my own work. So the trick for this is going to be highly technical. So what I want to do here is different things. We'll hoist this out for the moment. Definitely, it is very good to do. I just haven't done it. I don't use, as I was saying a little earlier, I don't use things like Unity or Godot or whatever. I don't have the time to learn them usually, and so I just haven't. Which means that I'm hamstrung a little bit by that inexperience when making my own stuff, because it's hard to capture. Well, from the perspective of trying to make make Dome more useful for other people, knowing what they're looking for is good, which means I would need to know what they're looking for. And one way to do that is to use other engines and see what tools they're used to having. Obviously, it's a bit different because this is there's no GUI at the moment, and I'm not sure if there ever will be. So, yeah, I don't know. That's the question here to answer. Sorry, that was a lot of rambling from a lot of useful stuff. Either way, I think it would be cool just to see what Ruby's actually been up to. She's used Dome for a bit, so definitely fair. That stuff doesn't need to be here anymore. So the question was for me, if I did import this is a, yeah, can I do this? Views and renderer for first step, just can I hoist these out into here and have that work? It looks like you can. That is awesome and terrifying. This might be a new addition. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Oh, that's tricky though, because I actually don't so the problem is not knowing what I want to extract out of each file. Yeah, it's a tricky one. It sneaks up on me every year, but I've tried to make as much time for it as I can, and my tools have gotten better year on year, so I can make more, I think, this year than I could in some previous years. Last year I had 4 full days and a few evenings that I could put towards it, and I think I made something pretty impressive. So I'm hoping to get a similar sort of success this time around. Yeah. Okay, so this partially works as a solution. What I need... Oh, but I can use annotations, right? So I have to remember how annotations work. That might be the way to do it. This will be like the first time I've ever got to use these. Attributes, they're called attributes. So how do I get these? So let me sort of state the problem. Occasionally, you have lots of different things of a similar category in a folder, and you want to load them all at once as code and import them. And having to remember to import them all individually is annoying. Having to put them into one file to import is annoying. So what I'm trying to write here is a thing that will automatically pick up anything I dump into that directory and load it into the system, so that I can pull out bits as needed. Sort of like auto discovery or dependency injection type stuff. So I'm sort of experimenting with that now. So what you can do is you can put little annotations. So you can do injectable, I think. But for it to be available at runtime, you have to do that. A bunch of Vianney stuff. That's fair. Yeah, this is definitely sort of that like exam and coursework season. So yeah, I can understand that. You could always do it. So what you could do, although I don't officially recommend doing this, is just do 7DRL a week earlier. Or later. Well, no, I suppose, yeah. Do it a little bit earlier and then just submit it during the actual jam. No one's going to know, and it's an honor system, right? It's just, yeah. Because it's on itch, there's just a whole period where you can kind of upload the thing. So I guess that, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if that's really good advice. It's just technically doable. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If it's after, you can't submit it, so people wouldn't count it as part of that, but it's still, like, there's no reason you can't try and make something in 7 days, just on your own time. Why not? You still need to know what the class is called, though. Although, that's not entirely impossible. Maybe? No, I think there's not quite enough here to do that kind of metaprogramming. Because it's all at the class level, it's not at the module level. Although we might be able to do it because we could use that as well. Okay, so all right. Thank you so much for coming by, Party Sofa. If you enjoyed, please throw me a follow for the channel. Maybe come by another time. Have a good night. It was really good chatting with you. Another TV viewer, welcome. I wonder, yeah, I don't have good statistics as to how many people are watching at any given time, so hopefully you're enjoying yourselves if you are watching. So for file in files, where's my backspace? There, like that. File, and then you can do this, and then you can do meta.get module variables, and then for that you can do right, so you'd basically do if the variable is class and inject then what you would do is be like var I guess that you'd just do that actually, and then kind of just hope. So if we take this out, and then system.print source. Oh, it does fall apart if you are loading the same file over again. Yeah, that would be a problem. Hi the Fisk. I'm doing a bit of strange meta programming right now. So I'm trying to write a system that will like auto load some classes for me. And it's not going too well, but it's fun. It's sort of procrastinating around stuff for the 7DRL challenge. How are you doing this evening? Ah, nice. So it couldn't... Wait, what? Oh, yeah. That's a rough one. And I know what that's like. Yeah. Could not load module. But it exists, right? Because there's... yeah, it definitely exists. Vim. So what's it? I'm a little confused by what's going on with this, but that's what happens when you start doing metaprogramming, so. Hopefully you find something that fits and looks pretty good. I'm sure they'll be fine though. No one will mind. Oh, I know what the problem is. I know what the problem is. I need to remove the end of the string because you can't put the file extension in. Yes. 5 weddings. Ooh, that's a lot. I have 2 to go to, and I've got to plan my own. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. Thank you. this actually has to be that. Views like that. And what's your name? I really should pull this out into a separate thing, but not yet. That's closer because now we're at least viewing it correctly. It exists, so I don't know why it couldn't find the module. Unless it uses like the full path name? That would suck. It would make sense. I understand why I did it that way, but... This file system gives me that right? Yeah, base path. Nope, that's not it. Damn. Am I gonna have to go digging in the source? I might have to go digging in the source. Ren GitHub. Oh. I'm looking forward to the event itself. I'm not looking forward to the planning. But so it goes. Optional meta ren. I have. The date is next year, April 1st. There will be, but it's fine. Oh, that looked like it actually worked. So, next on the agenda here is... Yeah, it's because the first is actually the actual date that I asked out my partner originally, and we've been together for over 10 years now. So I wanted the wedding to be on that date so I don't have to change the anniversary date. Now, if this actually works, I'm going to be very impressed. It didn't quite work though. That's a shame. Okay, so they're not doing the second half of this whole transaction here. I think that after 10 years I earned a bit of cheating, like that. Because I got longevity. Not quite. Oh dear. Um, Why do I not get to see that then? Yeah, that's strange. It's not, I'm not actually doing the rest of the line there. I'm pretty sure I did the try right. It's concurrency. Like, I literally did this. Find a new thing and try. So I'm sure this will just be errors, but... So what I want to do here is actually this, if out, continue. Bring this stuff over, go. Hello, Albar? I see, okay. Yeah, welcome. I'm never sure about reading out people's usernames or whatever. I try though. Oh, it's because it's not the actual variable, is it? It's so is there a thing to get a specific variable? That's the bit that I'm missing. So I guess I actually need to do this here, but actually here. Like that, and then do obj. And then try and get the thing from that variable. Does meta give me a Okay, so then what I need to do here is do this, return like that. Oh, I couldn't compile that though. I guess the problem with the eval is that it doesn't actually return. But I might be able to do it with this instead, because then that would. Yeah, this is deep in the weeds. So you basically have to do this bit to get the variable in scope, like that, and then get the expression to get that variable as an actual object in Ren. Check if it is an object with attributes, and then this bit here. So then if it's not a class, or not has this, then fiberboard, nope. And we'll move on to the next one. Otherwise, we got it. And it loaded, I guess. Although then it will just load everything anyway, so. Strangely, I would have expected that to work. So that bit of works fine. And I just do that bit, it fails. And it's probably just because it can't get that variable. Which is really annoying. I might need to ask Ruby if she knows a way to do this. Because it would be neat to be able to do it from inside Ren itself without having to do other stuff. So maybe I can approach it differently. Because what I could do instead is just do fiber.try this. Well, it'll be new. The difficulty is just that you get no visibility at all as to what the problem was. And that seems to compile though. So at least we're getting closer. We're getting closer. But there's no way to like selectively do this, which is sort of annoying. I don't know. I suppose then you would get the result of that fiber returned as a variable. Potentially. So you'd be able to do the /n return variable like that, and then you can do this bit. Oh, that's an interesting wrinkle. I actually didn't realize I didn't rename this. I don't think we quite got to anything that would work there, but still. Unfortunately, I don't think that will work either. So if we just take this out, here we don't need this bit. Hello, Pirate Paprika. this exists. Very strange. Let's take this stuff out. And take that. Yes! Haha! Oh, that's awesome. That is ridiculously awesome. Dangerous, because I'm pretty sure that this module will just pull in everything. But... oh, that's incredible. Because I don't know if I explained what this is about. So basically, I have a folder of views. Oh yeah, there's that. That's what the game looks like. Sorry, I should probably have shown that before. So this is what the game will look like once there is an actual game. I'm not allowed to make the game because the jam hasn't started yet. But I'm working on infrastructure right now. So I've got this folder of code for views, cd views, whatever. I want to load these in automatically without having to manually define each file and what I'm importing. Or at least I want to make it easier to do that. So in the past I'd have to basically go this file for this thing, this file for this thing. Now what instead I can do is what I've got going on in scene play. I've got one file and I can just list the things that it's providing. It's not all the way there, but it's a significant improvement. And from here, I can do some more powerful and generic things. So in theory, I could probably do something like import bulk loader eventually for bulk loader, and then do bulk loader dot load path. And it'll just grab me all the classes defined in that path and declare them, maybe. And then I'll just have those. So that was a huge step forward for that, and it would just be a nice convenience thing if I could really get that to work. Last real quick thing, and then I will probably go to bed. Out. So, ideally, if out, if not out, then system print variables, please. Right. Because then this should print for me the actual variables that are defined in here that I can export. It's not quite perfect, but it's as close as I'm probably going to be able to get with this system. I don't know, I might use it if I can tune it down to be correct. I suppose the next step then would be, because I can do additional filtering from here, I think, because I could do the meta dot compile expression, variable dot attributes dot self inject dot call like that. Maybe? No. That's interesting though. Why can't I do that? Did I just name it wrong? It's possible. Attributes.self. Although maybe I should just print out what the actual self or the attributes bit would be. Although it's saying that this doesn't exist, which is a bit awkward. But I guess I need to do another fiber try. There we go. Yeah, because now you can see which ones actually get the inject here. And then we can just call on those and export those. So yeah, the mechanics are there. The mechanics are there. This proves that. So that's a high point. I'm going to stop at this point. Thank you so much, everybody who came by today. It's been really lovely having a little bit of company while I sort of hack on and around the infrastructure for this. The jam for me starts on Saturday, so I will be posting some dev vlogs throughout that the week, and I might do a stream next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday time. We'll see. Depends on how things go. So yeah, if you haven't already and you're interested, please follow the channel to get notified. You can also find out more about the engine that I'm using at domeengine.com and join our Discord and such. So yeah, thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.